Let us begin with the chapter 2 of our session where I will try to explain the different modules of SAP. In the first session, I have spoken about the overview of SAP. I have briefly tried to speak about the journey of SAP, SAP's market cap as a ERP solution, and now I will go regarding the SAP modules at a little detail. So let's start. So this was the last slide where we finished last time when we were telling that SAP has a capability of bringing all functions of a business together. So how SAP does that? So SAP, typically I'm talking about ECC as of now, and SAP has actually different modules in place. So these modules are in impact. So SAP in impact, if you say about the modules, these are certain program or certain software, and these modules are independently able to handle each and every function of the business. So if you take SAP for instance, SAP core has got some modules which are fundamental and core module which needs to be implemented, and there are some modules which are also ad hoc module and which actually is better if we get implemented. For instance, the sales and distribution, material management, and production planning are the modules which are very critical. Similarly, quality management is also to some extent critical. Similarly, financial accounting FI and CO module are used for the purpose of the controlling and financials. But then there are other modules also which are optional. You can implement that, you get a better grip on the business. But even without that also you can go actually. Like for instance, we have asset management, we have treasury, we have workflow, industry solution, and yes, I miss that. SAP HR is extremely important because that takes care of the human resources. So if we go little deeper, these modules in this program, if you see, I have prepared. So in SD module, if you take SAP ERP, why SD? Because everything starts with customer. So I'm trying with SD first. SD deals with the customer actually. They have importantly two functions. One is sales order, because sales order is something by which the sales can be converted into business, and then invoice. Invoice is a company generates a bill and they send to the customer for collecting the payment. Then after SD, if we come, there is a next important module is the HR module, where HR module has a capability of handling the employees data, employees need, and also HR module has a capability of doing into the HR mini master. So master data of HR or HR, all the HR related information in master, so you can maintain there. Then we come to the another important module which is costing module or CO module. So in costing module, we deal about the different cost centers where the expenses are made and expenses are recorded. And also we go for another important area which is profitability analysis. And profitability analysis gives an idea that to manufacturing a product or selling a product, whether the business is becoming profitable or it is actually going on loss. So profitability analysis is important. Then there is another module which is the financial accounting module, the FI module. And FI module has general ledger, customer ledger. Those are important area because ledgers are actually in common man's language. Ledgers are like the book in which the expenses are entered or the accountings are done actually. So there is general ledgers. So there are different kind of ledgers are available. We will go in little detail later. And then there are also customer ledger where we find out that how much money has come from customer, what is yet to come, what is the pending amount, what amount we are supposed to recover from customer. Those data will come there. There is another module which is also, there are two modules in fact. One is project management which is called PM, and another is, plant maintenance which is called PM, and project system which is which is used for the purpose of managing any project inside the company. So if you are running a business, it is necessary that you need to do some kind of capital project. So capital projects are those projects which if you implement, you will actually create an asset and for a long duration, and by utilizing or the benefit of the asset you can actually improve your business or earn revenue. So those are managed using SAP project system module. Some of the component of the project system module is the project management or the technical objects, and plant maintenance is a module which takes care of all the maintenance activity of any production plan actually. So that is the plant maintenance module. Then another critical module which is coming, which is called the PP module. PP module is actually production planning. So here what we do, we plan the production, we do the material resource planning, we also manage the manufacturing activity through production order, and also measure the consumption, which finally goes to the CO module for the purpose of doing the costing. There are other modules, like another important module is material management. And in material management module, we manage the procurement, the function, the purchasing of any item, whether it is raw material, whether it is Hawa material, whether it is trading item, we manage that. And we also manage the inventory through that module actually. So in material management module, there is one important thing comes up, which is the material master. Because the one of the important master data, material master is used cut across all modules actually, whether it is CO, whether it is MM, whether it is SD, whether it is QM, whether it is whether it is LE, everywhere that comes, that material master is controlled using the MM module actually. And then one more module I have written. There are many other modules which I have not mentioned. For instance, customer relationship management is an important module where we manage the customers' data. Then there is something called supplier relationship management, or there is ad hoc program like SAP Ariba where we do the e-procurement. But however, all these things I have not written here. We have shown the only the important modules which we have shown, which we use in the day-to-day basis, and we are going to discuss that in little depth. Before going to the detail of the module, I wanted to give you an understanding of a fundamental of a business, how it is configured in SAP. So when you open the SAP screen, the first item which catches you is a client actually. Client is something which is the basic thing of SAP. And every client, like for instance, let's assume that there is a company called ABC. That ABC company, as soon as it buys a SAP license and it buys the permission or the user license to use SAP, they will create one client called ABC Limited, and that client is unique. So tomorrow, if you have 10 clients under one company, then those 10 clients will be 10 organizations. So you can imagine ABC Limited, any organization which has a legal entity and who has a independent profit and loss statement, independent balance sheet, and who is capable of representing him as a corporate citizen is represented as a client, and that is unique client we create. Inside one client, there may be different functions. Like for instance, if the A organization ABC may be in the business of engineering, or maybe in the business, and along with engineering, it may be in the business of manufacturing a shoe also. So in that case, there will be two company code. As many businesses there, every business will have one company code. So you can have unlimited company code for a client. So what we find that every company code is a subset of client, but client cannot be subset of company code actually. So company codes are named as 1000, 2000, 3000 like that. And under company code, for the purpose of accounting, one area is created that is called controlling area. In common language, sometimes it is also called profit center, because every controlling area is important, because controlling area is the area where all the cost and the income both are accounted for, and those two things are taken into consideration. Now controlling area, below controlling area, we create plant. So plant is a independent entity where you can actually you can do the business transaction, like you can do the manufacturing, you can do the production, you can do the purchase, you can dispatch material, you can create inventory, you can create asset, create stock, you can monitor the profit and loss of that particular unit. So those are plants actually. Now it depends. If it is it is not mandatory that you should have a physical plant to create plant in SAP. But yes, you should have a area which is well demarcated, and the inventory and the asset and all other things can be controlled within that boundary. There you can create a plant. So how to create a plant, how to create a company code, how to create a client is a different subject altogether. But just for the sake of understanding, let us understand that plant is the lowest area which has the independent capability of expending and also doing the income, booking the profit and losses. However, all plant data rolls up to the profit center or controlling area, and then finally rolls up to the company code, and then it rolls up to the client where we actually prepare the analytics and find out whether the business is in profit or business is making losses. Now, plant is comparatively a large area. Inside plant, there are possibilities that you need to identify where which material is lying, where which inventory is accounted for, which consumption has happened, and for that purpose, we create storage location. And storage locations have got the at the lowest level where you can actually find out the inventory. You can find out how much expenses is happening, how much cost is being spent on that, and so storage location is another thing which we create. So before going forward, I want you to put an attention here and imagine that the type of business, if you know certain business, it is not necessary whether you think of any business which is manufacturing only. If the business is of some kind of service industry, if the business is some kind of FMCG industry or banking industry, everywhere according to the business need, there is a SAP configuration needs to be done. And when we do the configuration, we immediately configure first the client, then we do the company code, then we do the controlling area, profit center, cost center, plan, storage location, everything we compare so that everything we configure so that the corresponding expenses, corresponding profits, everything can be booked there actually. I will go little detail. SAP every module is actually a ocean, and at some point of time, if there are two kind of professionals who work in SAP. One is called functional consultant who deal with these functional modules, and there are technical consultant who deal with basis and above module, which provides the technical data. But these are very big, very huge. But yes, it is important that we actually go into that detail, and particularly try to realize that what are all things we need to do. But because for the sake of continuing the video in a smaller form, I will stop here, and the next video I will again start from here, and I will talk of the separate modules. I hope that is okay with you. Thank you for being with us. Please join my next chapter, which will be chapter 3. I am stopping the video here. Thank you.